Hi guys, welcome back to Too Cool for Middle School and happy back to school season. I really love this time of year. I love the fall. It's almost fall. It's the beginning of September right now, and in LA where I live, it cooled down a little bit. I'm not even into like pumpkin spice things or Halloween or anything like that. I just like not sweating. And now that we've been in school for about 3 weeks, kind of getting into the zone, you know, we kind of like have our little schedules and everything down. So if you're new here, my name is Megan and this is my 12th year as a middle school teacher. Sometimes I teach English classes, sometimes history, or a mix of both. And this year I have 6th graders, 7th graders, and 8th graders. But approaching this back to school season was a little bit different for me this year. Now that I've been teaching for a while, I kind of prioritized the end of my summer differently than I have in the past. So as a newer teacher, or anytime I was like switching schools or switching classrooms, that week before school starts, like your last week of summer break, for me it was always just like going into my classroom and getting things set up. So you'll see on this channel for the past like 8 or 9 years or something, I have classroom setup videos from that last week of summer. And I mean, it's kind of fun to go in and just like have alone time. I usually like put Netflix up on my screen and just, you know, get things done, bulletin board type stuff, lesson planning things. You're like printing and laminating and cutting stuff. So normally that's what I do, but this year I knew that going back to school, teaching those 3 different preps, you know, 3 different grade levels, and I have history and I have English, and then I also have 2 kids of my own. I just knew that I had to like focus on getting us settled first before I could put like too much extra work into my classroom. Don't forget to also like take care of yourself and get some things for yourself checked off on your back to school to-do list before you get to all the borders and everything. So the things that were on my back to school to-do list this year, I just put them in like a little Google Keep list, and like I love checking them off once they get done. First of all, I had to clean out my car. I have 2 young kids, and so my car gets dirty so fast. It's unbelievable. They leave so many things in there, so many toys and like apple juice boxes and all of that. So there was a day when I like dropped them both off at their things, and then I just stayed in the driveway for like an hour sorting things, throwing things away, putting things in baskets, bringing stuff inside, and just making sure that the inside of my car was not gonna stress me out. When we went back to school, and you know, early in the mornings, I'm trying to get everybody where they're supposed to be, and I need to be able to see if all the right bags are in there. Are we missing anything? Do we get everyone's lunch, everyone's water bottle, all that kind of stuff. So if there's too much clutter, that's when I start to forget things. So like full car clean out was number 1. Number 2 was get haircuts for everyone. I've been liking to just like keep my hair a little bit shorter lately, and it's just really hard to schedule haircuts. Like once the school year starts, I mean, obviously you can't go like before school. After school, I have a tiny bit of time, but you know, if they're gonna like dye my roots and all of that, it's just gonna take longer than I have. So I got that done before the year started. I scheduled Jensen an appointment with his barber, got his done. Mariah's only 1, so she doesn't need haircuts yet, but had to get those checked off the list before the craziness started. Another thing was I canceled my gym membership. I had hoped that this summer would be a time when I could like actually spend time at the gym and get my workouts in, but I was teaching summer school, and then like my 2 kids were at different like summer camps and daycare things, and my husband still works over the summer, even though he's a teacher, but he runs like basketball stuff. And so like it just didn't, even in the summer, I couldn't make it all that often. So once the school year starts, there's definitely no way I'm gonna be able to actually pull that off. So like be realistic about the amount of time you will actually have. Like, can you actually drive somewhere, find parking, do the thing, drive back in time to like do whatever pickups you need to do or whatever you've got going on? Like look at your true amount of time and see if there's anything that you just probably need to cancel. I told them at the gym, like someday when my kids are older, I'll come back. I'll try this again. But at the moment, it's not in the schedule. So I'm just gonna try to work out from home when I can. And then a big thing for our family is finding time at the end of the summer to sit down and like look at the next year's budget. For teachers, a lot of times like back to school season really feels more like the new year. So since me and my husband are both teachers, usually we get like a little bit of a raise going into the next year because we're like going up on the salary schedule, like we have another year in. If that amount actually kept up with inflation, that would be extra cool, but I digress. So we have to look ahead and make sure that we're budgeting things out correctly for the year. And then we're also thinking about retirement. Like surprisingly, that's coming up like faster than I thought it would feel like it's coming up. Like I have friends at work who, you know, are retiring or like getting close to retirement, and I'm like, ooh, okay, yeah, how do you do that? How do you plan for that? So for this video, actually, I'm excited to be partnering with Equitable Financial, and they offer educators personalized financial guidance to help them toward their retirement goals. I know that like at my school, a lot of times there will be somebody sitting in the teacher's lounge, or you can like make an appointment with them, but as we know, the back to school season is just so stressful. I'm not in the mental space where I can think past like getting done with the school day. So for me, it's much better after I'm home from school, think about the different goals that I have, and you know, just like think about that like financial journey. And they always say that like the earlier you can start investing in this kind of stuff, the better. Like time is always your friend. But I'm gonna have a link on the screen and a link down below where you can just go on your own time, check out Equitable Financial, check out their website, check out their Instagram. I mean, just get that information like flowing into your consciousness, just like reminding you that like this is something important that you need to do for your future. So again, visit their website at this link. It's also linked down below, and learn how to take that next step in your financial journey. And again, thank you to Equitable Financial for sponsoring this portion of the video, and also for reminding me that I need to do this. I need to start planning for my own financial future while I'm also, you know, investing in the future of our youth's minds. Good for us, but we gotta make sure we can have fun after this, you know, after our careers. So a couple other things that I had on my list were just like other errands. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, when I was pregnant, my wedding ring wouldn't fit. This is actually just my engagement ring now. I have like the band that is the wedding ring, but anyway, my fingers got really swollen and they wouldn't fit. So I took it off while I was pregnant, and then like even, you know, a few months ago, I tried to put it back on and I needed it resized. So I took my ring to the place and left it there to get resized, and they sent it out to do that, and then they said that it got lost, like lost in the mail, which I don't believe. I'm like, okay. Something just seems really fishy about that, but anyway, they made me a brand new one, so all right. But it was like, I don't know, a place that was like 20 miles away. Like I had to go to the jewelry place that Derek bought my ring from 14 years ago or whatever. So that was like a big thing on my to-do list, like go pick up newly sized wedding ring, because I missed wearing it. And actually I kind of like the look of just the engagement ring. I just took off the band for now. So first time wearing a wedding ring in like 2 years. But once the school year starts, I can never drive over to that particular mall and pick things up. So got that done. Another thing that I like to do is like I just went through my wardrobe and just tried on things that I would wear for back to school. So it's not really the same stuff that I wear during the summer, but it's gonna be hot like those first couple weeks of school. So I always have to figure out like, okay, let me try on some things that are like breathable and are gonna be okay in like 95, 100 degree weather, but like still good for school. And then like, do they fit? Do they look good? Can I like put some different things together? So I tried on a few things that like in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I can wear that. But then I tried it on and it's like, that does not really look good anymore. Just doesn't fit right anymore. So I had to like replace a few items, and then I like take pictures. So I'll just like take pictures of like 5 or 6 different outfits that like, okay, if I'm getting ready in the morning and I'm not sure what to wear, okay, I know that this combination goes together well and doesn't like show my underwear or anything like that. So I always have to kind of plan that out for the first couple of days at least. And then like for my kids, I have a son who is going into 2nd grade, and he just wears uniforms, thank goodness. Like they wear like navy or light blue and khaki, just like a kind of mix and match that all the time. So I ordered him enough stuff that he's got 2 weeks worth of clothes just in his closet, so that if there's like a busy weekend and I don't get to do laundry, then he still has another week and like we'll be okay. And then like on Fridays they can wear what they want. They have like free dress on Fridays, so I just also had to make sure that he had like a few things that fit him. And then even with that there were like some things that I thought fit, and then I put him in these pants last Friday and he like came home in different pants because he was like, they were so small, they were hurting me, and like he went to the nurse and like got new pants. He's very dramatic, so like I gotta just like with him, like, okay, try everything on. Does all of this fit? And anything that doesn't fit, we just put it in a bag and I take it to friends that have kids who are a little bit younger than him. I always have to do that with shoes as well, because sometimes I'll be like shoving their little feet into shoes and they're like, it hurts, and I'm like, you're fine, and then I like squish where their toes are. I'm like, oh, these are too small, dang it. When did your feet grow to the next size? So I ordered like kind of like backup shoes for my 1-year-old and then for my 2nd grader. Like, okay, so on that day when that happens, here we've got these extra shoes that I can put you in. Rain jackets too. And in Southern California it doesn't rain that much, but I'll like look in their closets because maybe it hasn't rained in like 6 months or something, and I'm like, okay, do we still have rain boots? Do we still have waterproof jackets? And sometimes they just are not gonna fit. So that's the next thing I need to do actually. Is so far I think their stuff fits okay, but I probably need to get like one size up on like the waterproof shoes and the waterproof jackets, so we're not caught off guard next time it rains. I was talking about this a lot on Instagram too. I also went and got my Costco membership renewed. I hadn't done that in like 11 years or something like that. Like it had been a super long time because we always lived in little apartments where we couldn't like fit like, you know, bulk items of anything. But with kids and with back to school and all of that, it was super helpful to go just like buy some frozen things that I could use for dinners or like for lunch for me, just in a pinch, and then like the snack stuff for kid lunches. And I got this coffee that I'm like obsessed with. Like, oh, it just like makes my morning so much better. But it's this Cafe de Olla, like it's like coffee with like cinnamon sugar, like brown sugar. It's so good. So that's what like actually wakes me up in the morning. Like that's what like gets me out of bed, because I'm like, I don't want to wake up, ooh, but I'm gonna get to have that coffee. So I have my little coffee station already, coming up with those like, okay, this is what I'm gonna have in the morning, and these are our kind of like backup snacks and meals and stuff that we can have is really helpful. And then just generally, I always have to like backwards plan our nighttime and morning. Like, okay, if I have to be at work by 8, which is like so pushing it, like we start at 8:15. So I try to get to work at 8, and then I get to my classroom, unlock it, turn on the lights, turn on my computer, set my stuff down, check my box, and it's like time to go. You know, I put up my daily slides. So 8 is like pushing it, but the earliest I can drop Mariah off is 7:45. So I got to backwards plan it. Like, okay, I get to work at 8, drop off Mariah at 7:45. Before that, at like 7:35, I drop off Jensen, which means we have to leave the house by like 7:20 or 7:25. In my mind, I just say 7:20, but usually 7:20 is where like putting the backpacks and bags and everything in the car, and everyone's finding their shoes. So that means I need to wake Mariah up at like 7 and get her dressed. So Jensen needs to wake up at like 6:45, 6:50, so he can start getting himself dressed, and he like eats toast. So by then I need to be pretty much ready. My husband gets up a little bit after me, so it's kind of nice to just like be the only two awake for a few minutes in the morning. But I have to like backwards plan all of that to be like, okay, we have to be out the door by this time and up by this time, and just be like realistic with our morning. And let me show you, this is what I'm trying. This is what I had last year. I need to redo this. I need to reprint this out. And I had like my weekly menu. I made these in PicMonkey, and I have a nighttime routine one as well. I took these off the fridge just so that I can like adjust them a little bit for this year. But I have to have like, I have to use my classroom management skills to get us out the door and into bed and like get our stuff done every night. I need to add a few things to this because now that Jensen is in second grade, he has a little more homework. He has to do like AR tests, so we don't just get to read like what we want anymore. Okay, let me see what else I have on this. There's a few things I haven't gotten done. I need to get my real ID, you know, like different from your driver's license. I should have done that over the summer. That was the thing that got pushed aside a few times. You have to bring a lot of documentation. Like you need physical mail. And I do so much just like online. So I needed to like wait till those physical bills came in so I could like set them aside and bring them to the DMV when I have my appointment. So I don't know when I'm gonna do that. Cleaning the house. I don't know, that was on my list. That never really gets done. That's sporadic. That's bit by bit. That's still stressing me out. Organize Momo's room. That still hasn't happened either. So not everything got checked off my list, but a lot of it did. And then a few things I'm just gonna have to like follow up with, right? Like just continue to work on our monthly budgeting and our monthly saving and retirement planning and all of that. So don't forget to go to the link in my bio to do something where you put your future self first. Like that's kind of my definition of self-care. Things that I do to make future me's life easier. That's kind of what I consider like a self-care thing. So anyway, I'm going to finish editing my little morning and nighttime schedule things so that my kitchen looks like a classroom, but it really is helpful. So anyway, I hope you're having a great back to school season and that things aren't too stressful and you're able to just enjoy the fall a little bit. So I will see you in my next video. Have a great week. Bye.